Hey, what's up, all Wrestling Fortune viewers? I'm Owen Fincher, and I am the Wrestling Fortune champion. And I'm here to give you my WWE RAW review. I know it's a little late, but I've been sort of busy lately, and I just have the chance now to do it. And I'm gonna do it with this phone right here. So we cut out to the opening segment. It was AJ promo. And she comes out and she announces that tonight, I don't remember which one she announces first, so I'm just gonna announce what I think. I think she announced tonight will be Big Show versus Randy Orton. Then it will be John Cena versus Daniel Bryan, which are good announcements. Then Punk comes out and he apologizes for yelling at AJ last week. Then he asked for the triple threat match to be called off. She said no. Then Cena comes out, and he said that he turned into the guy that always asked for respect. He pretty much kind of referred him to Batista, because he would always, actually not really, because he asked for the spotlight. He's just asking for respect, so forget what I said. But I guess in a way that's kind of asking for respect, because that's what kind of is also what CM Punk's doing. He's asking for the spotlight as well, which is understandable. Then John Cena says you have to earn respect. You don't. It's not just handed to you. Then he said he's gonna beat CM Punk and take the WWE Championship. And Punk's like, and I actually really liked when he said this. Oh, like you did last year, right? Because last year I beat you at SummerSlam, and that was just awesome. Because I like it when people mention things that happen that I didn't forget about it, but it's kind of like I didn't really like that match. Then Big Show ended up coming out. AJ says, no, I don't want this to break into chaos. You guys have Punk, Big Show, Cena, you guys have match tonight. You got waste all your energy out on those. Punk says, where's my match tonight? And AJ says she was about to match it before she was really interrupted. And she tells Punk that he's in the match, and he asks who his opponent is. She says, I don't know, which kind of made me laugh, because he's like, what? And I like how they do this now. They announced on Twitter that Punk will be facing either The Miz, Kane, or Rey Mysterio. And I couldn't vote because my internet crashed. But I would have voted for Rey, because I think that would have been the best match on there. And it did get Rey. And it was just a good match. It was like they worked good together. And I remember this from the 2010 feud, but they're not in the ring as often as Dolph Ziggler and Kofi Kingston are. They're not in the ring as often anymore, but I can totally see it when Dolph Ziggler wins the world title. They'll probably have a program for it, and I will not like that. If it does happen, I won't really complain, I guess, but we don't know. But it was a good pace of match. We had Rey doing the senton to Punk on the outside. Punk kind of dominate Rey throughout the match. Then Rey Mysterio, you think he's going to come back. He does the 619 for some reason. And then he goes to the turnbuckle, goes to do that splash. Punk gets the knees up. Then Punk does the go to sleep, and Rey Mysterio and beats Rey. Good match. I'm happy that Punk won, because you got to make a champion look strong going into SummerSlam. I wish they knew what they were doing with Rey at this point, though, but getting everything done right. But good match. Then the next thing, it was Alberto Del Rio backstage. Alberto Del Rio was backstage. He was saying how because he's allowed to have his car parked there, I guess. Then they go to the arena, I guess. And then after that, we get a Wade Barrett video package, because he's gonna be coming back. I actually been kind of waiting for Wade Barrett to come back, because there's a lot they need to. There's a lot that they can do with him. maybe possibly feuding with Sheamus for the world title, or I don't know. Maybe get the United States Championship off Santino, maybe. But maybe he could be the person. I know probably people aren't gonna like me saying this, but he could be the person that gives Ryback finally that challenge. Because maybe like he could be like, you could call him Skip Sheffield, and he's like, ever since you were in Nexus and now you're saying, chanting feed me more. They could do something like that. I think Wade Barrett will do just fine though. Maybe him and Cody could be a tag team. Because I think they would. I made a tag team about them on WWE 12 one time called Wasted Roads. I know I couldn't think of a tag team I could have done, but I could have done Rhodes and the Buried, but there wasn't enough letters. I think they can do stuff. Speaking of which, where's Cody Rhodes been? I know he's having a match with Sin Cara on Friday, but yeah. But let me get on to the rest of the show. I shouldn't get onto it too much. Then we have AJ backstage. This is the first one. Del Rio's backstage. He tells AJ that he shouldn't have to compete till SummerSlam. AJ says she has nothing scheduled for him. Like, how much that would? I guess he has calls her crazy. And then she says that you have a match tonight and it's next. And Mikado goes to get his stuff. Then Del Rio ends up facing Christian. And it wasn't a bad match. I wish it had been a little bit longer, and I wish it didn't really seem like Christian was doing as much. But it seemed like he was taking more of the punishment than he was. But Del Rio, for some odd reason, this kind of didn't really make sense to me. Del Rio ended up winning the match, but he used his shield to take it off, and then he hits the cross arm breaker, but the referee didn't see him with his shield off. I don't know if it was because the referee wasn't looking at the right way, but it was just weird. So I thought Del Rio got disqualified at first because I thought he saw it, but I didn't see Christian tap out. It's just kind of weird. But it was okay match. It was a good match. Then Sheamus ends up stealing Del Rio's car backstage because Ricardo Rodriguez left the keys and take it for a joyride. Michael Cole, but Jerry the King Lawler would say that he's just ball winning. Then we have Randy Orton versus Big Show. I didn't really like this match. You see, it seems Big Show kind of dominated the whole match. Randy Orton didn't really get anything in there. And they're just kind of slow. Like, plus I couldn't decide who I wanted to win the match. I couldn't really decide who I picked, so I just kind of flipped a coin and it landed on Big Show. But like, I don't really like them. I think Big Show, everyone's gonna probably not like me for saying this, but I think it's time for him to hang it up. There's nothing really left they can do with Big Show. He's done. His time has come, and it's over. Like, Triple H is a different story because he's only wrestling at the pay-per-views and he can still do credible stuff. Undertaker, the streak, and that's always phenomenal. And Brock Lesnar's only wrestling, I guess, at the pay-per-views. But that's the thing, like, I don't want to see Big Show anymore. I'm kind of sick of him. He's kind of like old wasted trash, kind of. But the match ends up, Randy Orton throws Big Show into the post when he goes to ram him into the shoulder into the post. Randy Orton goes for the RKO. Big Show counters, hits the spear. It ends up being a double count out. Big Show tries to chokeslam Orton in the ring. Hits the RKO, and Randy Orton's theme music plays, and it's over. Wasn't really anything special, but what else can you do? You can't make every Raw, I guess, fantastic. It's 3 hours, so you get heavy stars. Then we have Could Hawkins and Tyler X versus Ryback. This is the same reaction. If you didn't see my Money in the Bank review, I have the same reaction for that. Then we have Primo and Epico versus the Primetime Players. This match wasn't that bad. Good tag team match. At least they're using their tag teams, because this is the kind of thing we need to see. Build your tag teams on 3-hour Raws or not comedy. What I liked about this is I thought Epico and the Primetime Players were gonna win, because they beat the tag team champions last week, and I'm like, okay, they're gonna become the next tag team champions. But then this week, we have them leaving. Kofi Kingston and R-Truth come out, and then Epico and Primo. One of them, I don't remember which one, hits the backstabber on Damien and ends up getting the pin and winning the match. So Epico and Primo win. I think they'll get, this will actually be announced before time, ahead of time, I should say. Epico and Primo will be a triple threat. It's going to be a triple threat tag team match with Epico and Primo, the Primetime Players, and Kofi Kingston, R-Truth at SummerSlam. That shouldn't be too bad. I would like to see maybe, but if they might add another tag team in there like Unico and Camacho, because I can kind of see that happening. But at least they're utilizing their tag teams. I would kind of like to see Kurt Hawkins and Tyler X in the Mist instead of feuding with Ryback. And I would also like to see maybe Unico and Camacho. You know what I like to see that we don't see anymore? I think they have enough tag teams for it now. A tag team turmoil match, because those were pretty cool. Like, I watched them back at the No Way Out stuff, and I always liked those matches. Or you can also put Ray and Sin Cara as a tag team, like throw some tag teams together. Because that's what they did with the Primetime Players, and they're actually a pretty good tag team. But it's probably going to be a triple threat tag team, and if but we don't know if it's going to happen yet, so I'm not going to give up my predictions out. Well, we know, but it hasn't happened yet. Then we have Damien Sandow interview. He says he's going to take out all the stuff that I guess that's not smart in WWE, and he's going to start with Brodus Clay because he doesn't believe that dancing's okay, unless but he does cartwheels. So then we have Brodus Clay versus Damien Sandow. The match never happens. Damien Sandow attacks Brodus Clay before the match and ends up pretty much breaking his ankle, which everyone's been doing lately. At least it's better than Brodus Clay jobbing at everyone, and I kind of like it too because it kind of builds Damien Sandow's character better. I would really like to see where they're going with this guy. I thought he was going to get an IC title feud with Christian. That would have been cool. But I think he might be facing maybe Brodus Clay in the YouTube pre-show at SummerSlam. I won't really complain. I think Damien Sandow probably will win. But I think Damien Sandow will be probably a future world champion someday. If not, that would be dumb. But he'll be a future world champion. Maybe he's the guy that can beat Ryback. Okay, I know I'm mentioning Ryback a lot, but I just want to see this guy lose a match. They say he's undefeated, but he really isn't. Let's get on with the next match. We have AJ backstage, part 2. She's backstage with Daniel Bryan. She's telling Daniel Bryan that he has anger management issues. He said he's not really that angry because tonight after he beats John Cena, she's gonna have to make the WWE Championship match at SummerSlam, a Fatal 4-Way, she says that you already have a match at SummerSlam. You're facing Kane, and she's like, no, yes, and Daniel Bryan says no, yes, and it goes back and forth. About him facing Kane, I thought he was facing Charlie Sheen. I'd rather have him face Kane though, because Charlie Sheen probably would have buried Daniel Bryan, and at least with Kane, he can't beat it. Like, I think Bryan probably will beat Kane, but we don't know how the feud will go. But I think they'll have an okay match. It won't be the best match ever, but they'll have an okay match. Then we have oh yeah, I have to look first. Then we have Kelly versus Eve Torres. At least there was a Divas match. I think they probably put this Diva match there because they didn't have any time left. They needed time to fill, so they just got some Divas and they had a match. That was all I have to say is I applaud WWE for this because it was longer than 2 seconds. Or 30 seconds, I should say. So I applaud WWE for that. Kelly ended up winning by a roll-up, I think. I remember Kelly won, but I think she won by a roll-up. Okay. That's okay. You know, the thing is, that TNA has over WWE, that they use their divas on TV, and their wrestling is better. We don't see any of the tits, and we don't really see any of them shaking their asses or anything. They actually wrestle. That's what you gotta do with the WWE divas. And people told me that they like to see that stuff, but the thing is, it's good to see it, but why do you think people are so sexist to girls sometimes? It's because it's because WWE doesn't show that the divas can actually wrestle. TNA is actually showing that they can actually wrestle and they bust their ass. So that's what I like. Then we have Shawn Michaels returns. This was actually pretty cool. Shawn Michaels comes out and he says that he's happy that DX got their reunion on the 1000th episode of Raw. And he gives he goes to give his thoughts out on the Brock Lesnar Triple H situation. Brock Lesnar comes out and Paul Heyman. I thought it was just going to be Paul Heyman, but it actually ended up being both of them. And Paul Heyman says that you and Triple H just entertained when you guys wrestled. He's here to actually hurt Triple H, and he said that you left on your own terms, but Shawn Michaels really didn't leave on his own terms because he lost to Undertaker at WrestleMania, at WrestleMania 26. Then Brock Lesnar ends up saying that the only reason I actually didn't think Brock Lesnar was going to talk at all, but I'm glad he did. The only reason you were able to beat. You think that Triple H will beat me at SummerSlam is because you never have the chance to be in the ring with me. Oh, by the way, before that, Shawn says that he's going to be in Triple H's corner at SummerSlam. That's going to be cool. And then Brock Lesnar, I guess, went to attack Triple H. Triple H ended up coming out. Then Brock says he'll see Triple H at SummerSlam and he'll see Shawn before then. Then they leave. This was okay. I kind of like this because now we're gonna get Shawn in the mix. I don't think. Yeah, this is the first time that this is gonna happen. Triple H versus Lesnar. They happen in a triple threat, but this is the first time one-on-one. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for this match. The WWE Championship match. Oh wait, let me actually cover the show. Then I'll tell you this stuff. But I think Triple H probably will still win now that Shawn's in his corner, and I think that Shawn and Paul Heyman are gonna get something. Then we have Sheamus' first out. He's at, I don't remember where he is, but he's somewhere, and he says the stars at bright. This towel I don't really remember that much because it's just not. It's not that memorable to me. But I remember the second one more. Then we have Alex Riley versus Dolph Ziggler with Chris Jericho as the special guest commentator. I didn't really focus on the match because they didn't really talk about it. And Jericho and Dolph Ziggler were having a feud, and Jericho was wearing his shirt, Dolph Ziggler's shirt again. And I like how Jericho was saying, you shouldn't take Alex Riley too lightly because you could beat him. And I didn't think it was gonna. And I was like, okay, yeah, well, he's gonna win anyways. Jericho ends up taking out his phone and he's gonna send a tout of the Dolph Ziggler Alex Riley match. What ends up happening is Alex Riley rolls up Dolph Ziggler and pins him. Do I agree with this? Yeah, because it builds up more of their feud because maybe because they're set to have a highlight video. Dolph Ziggler and Alex Riley. Dolph Ziggler will be in the ring and Alex Riley will say, or Dolph Ziggler, doesn't matter which one. No, Chris Jericho. Will say that you lost your touch, you lost to Alex Riley on Friday. And then maybe that's how they'll get the SummerSlam match. They're going to have a phenomenal match at SummerSlam. They're going to tear down the house. I think Jericho is now a face. I think he is. Then let's get on with the next match. The next match is this is now the 17th thing that happened. Sheamus' second count. This is he grabs a sandwich. I guess it's like a sub. I think he got it from Subway, and he drops it on the floor, and then it kind of ends. So it was kind of funny. Then we have Kane versus The Miz. This match happened since they didn't get voted to face Punk earlier tonight. It was an okay match. It wasn't the best match ever, but it was okay. I kind of thought Kane was gonna win though, because they were gonna have him going in strong to face Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam. We now know that Kane's a face because we never knew at first. Kane ends up winning because I think Miz went for a clothesline in the corner. Kane countered and did like a flapjack, and Miz's head hit the turnbuckle. Kane did a choke slam. 1, 2, 3. The match was over. Good match. I could have seen a little bit more, but it was a good match for what it was. Then we have Sheamus backstage. He brings the car back. It's all torn up. There's like a tree in there, and then later you see like there's like a, what's it called? I don't remember what it's called. It's those things you put in the roads where people can't go, and I forget what it's called. I haven't seen them in so long, so I forget what they're called, but I can't remember. Then we have, then before Daniel Bryan versus John Cena. Now, Daniel Bryan comes out before Cena comes out. Del Rio finds his car. He tells Las Vegas it was all its fault because he left the keys in the car. That's how Sheamus got it. So he makes Las Vegas clean up the car, and that was pretty much it. For that segment, then Daniel Bryan and Cena have a phenomenal main event. It wasn't phenomenal, but it was a good main event. Daniel Bryan does that high knee outside the ring. Then Cena does his 5 minutes of doom, of course. He goes for the FU. Daniel Bryan counters into that chokehold that he usually does, like the DDT chokehold. Cena powers out of it, hits the STFU. Daniel Bryan goes for the no lock. Cena counters, hits the FU, and then the match is over. Great match. Then Punk comes out. He said, I don't know, and then they have a face-off. Kind of reminded me of July 25th of last year, which was my friend Steve's birthday, by the way. Then Big Show comes out. Cena pushes Punk aside, fights Big Show, goes for the FU. Then Punk pushes Big Show and Cena. Then Punk gets on the commentary, and I like this. Says, I've been hugging babies and kissing babies and hugging fat ladies, and I'm sick and tired of it. I want people to disrespect me sometimes, and it was just awesome. Now I know that Punk is a heel. Well, I knew it was, but I couldn't really determine it because the fans were still cheering him, and I think this got him a lot of heel hate. And he says that every Raw is going to end with me holding this WWE Championship up high, and I'll be the best in the world at what I do. Then he drops the commentary tables, goes to kick Big Show again. Big Show blocks it, hits him with the Punk with the right. Then he hits Cena with the right, and he holds the WWE Championship. And that was just a good way to end Raw because because I didn't think Big Show looked strong because he got laid out by Orton. This made him look strong. Good Raw. Probably a good Raw. I thought after the 1000th episode of Raw, this company was gonna go shh. But lately it ended up this Raw. Last week it wasn't so good because I just couldn't get into it. But this week it ended up being just good Raw. Just a good Raw. Maybe because there was no Santino because he needs to go fuck himself. But maybe that's where he was. Just fuck himself. It was a good Raw, and it was an easy, like, I wouldn't go sit through this Raw again, but this Raw was worth your time. And it wasn't the best Raw, but you could sit down and watch this Raw. There was no, like, matches. Okay, the Divas match you could have tuned out, but there was not really, like, a match you could not watch, because it was just good Raw. So I think this is gonna be my only video of the week, and this is gonna be uploaded on Thursday now because that's 3 minutes in. Um, now I would like to make an announcement before I go that I'm not gonna be making any SummerSlam videos because I'm not gonna have time for them. I'm gonna be going camping for 3 days this week. Next week I'm gonna be going camping at another campground, so it's just gonna be a pretty stacked month. So before I can't even get to it, so I'm just gonna do it next year. I still will be making my SummerSlam predictions video and my review of this year's, but just not any of last year's, like all the SummerSlams. Night of Champions I'll definitely be doing, though. I won't be doing any until then. And I guess before I go, I would like to say thank you for watching this video, and I'm gonna be sending this video maybe to Wrestling Gurus Society, and I'm gonna hopefully become the next member of Wrestling Gurus Society. If not, then I guess there's nothing I can really do about it. But that's pretty much it, guys. I'd like you guys to leave your thoughts on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube if you're a YouTuber. And that's pretty much it, guys. And thanks for